Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Josh YouTube channel for week 3 of the Josh v Reece predictions, followed by a very special guest, and Mr. Prediction Man Douglas himself, who obviously does Scottish Premier League and Bundesliga predictions on his channel. So obviously check it out if you haven't already. So I'll be pretty honest with you. I've had a very busy week with new carpet and going places. I haven't updated the prediction table, so I don't know where everyone is yet. So you're gonna have to bear with me on that. So I do massively apologize, but I'm probably still winning because I'm that good. I know Doug, you had a bit of a horror week last week with the Arsenal score and the Southampton the United score. So it wasn't. I'm sure it's going to happen to me at some point. I've actually been all right. I've been all right with my week so far. But anyway, Doug, how are you doing? I know you're currently waiting on some fish and chips, so we'll try not to get away with your dinner too much.
Thank you very much for having me. Obviously, long time no speak. No, actually 43 minutes ago, because you were on my channel for the Liverpool Chelsea preview. But no, it's an absolute pleasure, and I'm looking forward to this.
And then obviously we've got Reece. Reece very much a part of this. He's the co-host of this little thing. He's obviously the co-host of Josh Reece podcast. Currently doing a lot of DIY stuff. So this is kind of his little break. Plus, he will never say no to the chance of talking about football. Would you, Reece?
No, not at all, mate. Not at all.
So obviously we're just gonna crack on with these predictions. So this is pretty much how the show works. So I need to get the fixture up on my screen because I don't actually know them off my hand. So yeah, just
I've got my prediction. I've got my predictions and a Man United quiz. I'm actually currently winning.
Right. So starting off with the early kickoff on Saturday, which is a fixture that makes me laugh quite a bit. It is Manchester City v Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium on Sky Sports. Yikes for Arsenal. You couldn't really ask for a much harder game after what you've just been experiencing. Obviously, they might get a win against West Brom in the Mickey Mouse Trophy that literally no one gives a damn about, including the Championship and League One teams. So, yeah, so big news, obviously, in Man City. No Harry Kane. Harry Kane officially confirmed he will be staying at Tottenham Hotspur on his own Twitter, which is very rare that you see that, but it's Daniel Levy turned down 150 million euros for Harry Kane, which is absolutely remarkable. Arsenal, big trouble. Like, they could be literally going into after 3 weeks of Premier League action with 0 points on the board, which is absolutely mad to think. My prediction for this game is sure 3-0 Arsenal. If Chelsea score 2 against them, I think City will rip them apart even more because Chelsea definitely weren't at their best attacking wise and intensity wise. I think City will rip them a new one. I think Arteta's in for a very difficult period. Doug, what's your prediction?
Same as you, mate. 3-0 City. Manchester City, just a wee fact, Manchester City have won the last 9 meetings in the Premier League between Man City and Arsenal. So I expect Man City to absolutely crush Arsenal. So I'm going to go 3-0.
I'm Reece.
The exact same scoreline. 3-0 Manchester. Yeah, straight up, easily said than done. 3-0 Manchester City. I just look at the way they're playing right now. They've started really well. The team's gelled. Jack Floppish scored his first goal, although to be fair, I wouldn't call it a goal, to be honest. But it's going to give him a great deal of confidence, and I think from there they're just going to build. I think they're just going to build from there.
Yeah, honestly, I'll ask you this very, very quickly because it's a chance for sure. But I have to ask this, Doug. Do you see any future for Arteta here? And also, how excited are you for this Amazon Prime at the end of the season with these guys?
In all honesty, I think if he gets a heavy defeat against City, I think he could be out. Do you know that?
Antonio, I know there's a lot of Antonio Conte. Doug's Chinese here. Reece, go ahead. You go ahead.
I actually wholeheartedly cannot agree. Disagree. Sorry with that. I think if it all goes to shit this weekend and tonight, he's definitely gone.
That's fair enough. So 3-0 from all of us. Next game, Aston Villa and Brentford at Villa Park. This is a really, really interesting tie. Brentford obviously doing quite well. Brentford doing quite well so far. That's at 4 points from their opening 2 games. A really good point away to Selhurst Park, and a really good win against Arsenal at home. Villa, they definitely don't. They definitely look like they're trying to adapt to like with like Jack Grealish. They're trying to maybe trying to figure out like a better style and involves all the team instead of like, heavily going through Mr. Grealish. I've got Aston Villa and Brentford. I've got Brentford remaining unbeaten in the Premier League. I've actually got a 1-1 draw between Aston Villa and Brentford. I think Brentford just look really, really good, and Aston Villa for me still not particularly convincing. I don't think Dean Smith knows his best 11 yet. I still think Dean Smith's trying to figure out the best forward attacking line. I just think Brentford know exactly what they're doing, and it's going to be another good away point for them in a 1-each draw. So, Doug, what have you got?
I disagree. I think Aston Villa will just sneak this one 1-0. I think Danny Ings scoring that absolutely wonderful overhead kick the other day was fantastic. I think Martinez was a little bit lucky to stay on the pitch. Anybody else, then I think Martinez gets sent off, but obviously of the offside. I suppose you have to give a yellow in that circumstance. But I've been very impressed with Brentford, and I honestly think that they will survive this season. Thomas Frank has got them well drilled, well thought out as well. So I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to go 1-0 Villa. I think they'll just sneak it, but I've been very impressed with Brentford so far.
Right, Mr. Reece.
It's going to be quite an interesting game. I just look at overall. I think it's going to be quite a. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to categorise the score. What was that? Yeah, I've gone 2-2 in this game, but I don't think it's going to be an overall one-sided result. Actually, I think it's going to be quite fair. I think Brentford are going to get the early goal, and I think Villa will control it. And then I think after that, Brentford will score right at the end to equalise. I think it will be split.
Well, that's fair enough. Moving on to next game, Brighton and Everton. I think this is a game at the Amex between two teams very much in good form. Brighton looking like they maybe potentially sorted out their goal scoring issue. They're playing better than they did last year, which is remarkable to think. I have them finishing 18th, which I think I may go back and look at that and potentially shoot myself in the head. I already feel like that's going to be the biggest thing. See what Brentford too. Go Brentford rock bottom. Everton on the other hand, I think it's a classic Rafa Benitez team. They're counter-attacking really, really well. They're being dominant on the crosses, and they look semi-organized. But I just think Everton's centre backs are absolutely atrociously bad, and I feel like Rafa's has got a lot of work to do with that defense and Jordan Pickford. I do have Everton winning this game, though. I think Rafa Benitez's records away from home are actually really, really good. And I feel like this Everton team's just getting stronger and stronger. Very interested what's happening with James Rodriguez when he said the other day he doesn't even know who Everton are playing, which I think James Rodriguez has just put his career down the drain. He had a really good chance here in the Premier League, especially under Rafa. Did well under Cardo. I think he's ruined his career. Do you have Everton winning this game? I've got a 2-0 win for Everton. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm going to use my goal scorers in this. I've got Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison scoring. But I do think Brighton will do. I think Brighton will give him a game, but Everton just for me will edge it. Doug?
I'm going 1-1 in this game. I think I've been very impressed with Brighton. I think they've played really, really well. Everton, again, under Rafa, you have to give them credit. I think Damari Gray and Andros Townsend are actually being very astute signings, I would say. Damari Gray in particular, fantastic goal he scored at Leeds last weekend. But you look at that Brighton side, and Basuma was very, very good. Tom Cleverley having nightmares over his involvement. You don't get that amount of time in the Premier League, unfortunately. But Basuma did well to win it back for Mopey, and Shane Duffy, of all people, scoring the first goal, did absolutely shockingly bad at Celtic last season, and he scores for Brighton. It's just the forgotten man, really. But yeah, I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Apparently, Everton and Brighton have actually won 2 games apiece, and there's been 1 draw, so they're very evenly matched. So I'm going to say it'll be another draw, 1-1.
Reece?
I've actually gone for a dominant, I believe. I think I've actually went for a very dominant Everton win. Yes, I have. I've gone for Everton 3, Brighton 1. I think Everton are going to wipe the floor with Brighton, to be honest. I don't rate Brighton as a team. I don't rate their chances. They've got a good manager. They just don't have anyone that's clinical enough to finish. I just don't see enough, and I just think the way Everton have started so far under Benitez, it's been perfect for them. So yeah, Everton 3, Brighton 1.
That's a bold prediction. It'll be a really good win. Next year, but no, this is for me. This is already a really, really massive game early on between Newcastle and Southampton. Newcastle, Steve Bruce, okay, fair enough. They played well against. Fair enough. They played well against. They played well against what's it called? West Ham. You know, at St James's Park, but they were awful against Aston Villa, like truly and utterly. I mentioned it awful. Southampton, they got a really good point against Manchester United, a deserved point in the end. Though obviously against Everton, they played one of the first half against Everton, so it's clear that Hasenhüttl has a system that's working and the players are buying into it. It's just a matter, can the players live up to that quote? Losing Vestergaard's really big. Will they get a centre back in the last 6 days? Can Adam Armstrong, he's had a good start, live up to the Danny Ings expectations? I do have Southampton winning at St James's Park, though, and it's going to be a really toxic atmosphere by the end of this game. Southampton winning 2-0. I just don't think, even with Joe Willock back in Newcastle, they just don't look good at all. And it's very much the Callum Wilson show. If he's not firing, they just have no threat going forward whatsoever. Steve Bruce, man, he's a dinosaur. Don't know how he still has a job. And the quicker Newcastle go down, to get him sacked, the better for all the Newcastle fans, because they're suffering enough of Mike Ashley. Never mind him as manager. What about you, Doug?
Well, I'm going to totally disagree with you. I honestly don't see Southampton winning this game. Look, I think they did very well against Manchester United. I think, yes, it was a Fred own goal. The second half, Man United could have won it. Southampton could have won it with that chance with Adam Armstrong in the end. But I look at their squad, and yes, they've just signed someone as well from, I think it was Getafe today as well. Lineco, I think he's a Brazilian centre back, I think, if I remember rightly. But Newcastle have a good record against Southampton. I can't remember the last time Southampton actually won at St James's. I think it's going on almost maybe 7-8 years or something. So with that being in mind, I think Newcastle will get off the mark, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Newcastle.
I have a funny feeling you just maybe hate Southampton because you had them losing 5-1 yesterday. Maybe just don't like Southampton, Doug. Is there a special grudge?
I honestly do not hate Southampton. I just look at their squad and I just think they've just not got enough for me. So yeah, I'm going to go for. I think Newcastle have to win eventually. So I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
Reece?
I can see where Doug's coming from, and I think that's a very fair point. I've gone 3-2 Southampton. I just like, it's just something about them. It's just hard to write them off, and I'll always back them more than anybody else. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
That's fair. That seems like a fair prediction. Next on to Carrow Road. Norwich play Leicester. Norwich, man, they look already in trouble. You're 2 games in, and my God, do they look hopeless. Okay, fair. No, yeah, okay. Let's be fair. Maybe their start in 3-4 games has been terribly bad. It's literally the worst run of games you can ask for as a newly promoted side. But like, if you think about the goals they can see against, it's the same goal over and over and over again. This is a team that doesn't learn. I don't think Daniel Farke's particularly leading them particularly well as a manager in the Premier League. I think Leicester got to have fun here. I'm going to go for the same prediction I had for them against City. I'm going to go for a 4-0 win for Leicester. Funny thing, they probably maybe won't score that much, maybe at Carrow Road, but I just feel like Norwich are going to concede early and they're in for another long day. Doug, I can tell by your face you either have a more competitive scoreline or maybe even Norwich getting a draw.
No,
Doug's going to
Norwich are just they're one of those clubs where they're like a yo-yo. Yeah, doomed. No, I think Leicester battered by West Ham. Absolutely battered by West Ham the other night. I think Leicester will win 2-0. In all honesty, I think Norwich is. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I'm going to say Norwich finish with less points than Derby County. I've not been impressed with them at all, and I think I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Leicester.
No, honestly, I think that's a shout. Honestly, I think Doug said Chippy has definitely arrived now. Reece, over to you.
I'm going 2-1 Leicester. I think I would expect Leicester to bounce back after getting absolutely pummeled by West Ham the other day. but I don't think it's going to be too much in terms of a response. I think they will get the 3 points, but they won't absolutely batter Norwich. So I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester for this one.
That's fair enough. So we'll keep swiftly moving on, taking and tolling because we're trying to keep the city as short as possible. West Ham and Crystal Palace at the London Stadium. West Ham, and I had to finish in 13th, but they're looking like they're left off where they did from last season. If anything, stronger. Antonio looking great. Antonio's looking really, really. Barama's looking particularly good, and they don't actually look like they're missing Jesse Lingard particularly too much, which is a bit of a surprise to me, but. West Ham have started just really well. Midfield, as it has been as it has been the whole time under Dean Moyes, incredibly solid. Defensively looking really good. Might be adding Kurt Zouma to that list. The London Stadium was well up for the game. Was well up for their last home game. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, they struggled against Brentford, it's safe to say. They're lacking goals, man. Their goal threat's basically non-existent. And they got outplayed by Chelsea. It's already worrying times for Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira. I do have West Ham winning this game. I just don't think Crystal Palace are ready yet. I feel like the season has started too early for them. It just doesn't look like they're ready in terms of fitness, in terms of identity. Patrick Vieira hasn't figured out his system yet. So I think West Ham are going to win this game 2-0. And it'll be a straightforward enough win for them. Reece?
I don't see anything other than a West Ham win. There's no way they're going to lose this. Crystal Palace are... It's too soon for them to even get a point. And I know, Ali, like we had a bit of a fun rant the other day going back and forth. But I just don't see anything for this. So... Yeah, I'm going to go flat at the back. I'm going to go West Ham 4, Crystal Palace 0.
Doug, I know you're eating your fish and chips there, so you just want to give a very quick description so we don't interrupt your meal.
Don't worry, just arrived. I'm going to be honest. I've been very impressed with West Ham. I didn't think they were going to be the same team as they were last season, but they seem to have taken to like a duck to water, really. Antonio's just in sensational form right now. Him and Barama are fantastic, but you have to say Leicester City's defending was a lot to be desired. Kaglar Siyuncu, I don't know what he was thinking for the second goal, but I have to say Antonio bullied that Leicester defence. I think West Ham will win. I'm going to go 2-0. I've got Antonio and Benrahma to score the goals.
That's fair enough. Reece, since I want to let Doug eat in peace, I'll ask you this question: Do you think there's any regret like Crystal Palace, or do you think there's any regret like Crystal Palace, or do you think there's any regret like Crystal Palace, or I'm trying to think what's the best way to describe it. Is there any regret that Crystal Palace have hired Patrick Vieira? He played a 4-4-2 against Chelsea, then switched to 3 at the back, and played 4-3-3 against Brentford and switched to 3-5-2. He doesn't know his best system. He doesn't know his players. Was there a mistake hiring Patrick Vieira?
Not for me. Not for me. It was an ambitious appointment. But I do think that appointing him was very, very ambitious. He will get it right. Remember that they've lost to Chelsea, and they drew with Brentford. I mean, they've got a point on the board anyway. They've got a point on the board. Haven't scored a goal yet. They got beat by Watford in the Carabao Cup, but I think I look at this Palace side compared to the one that Frank de Boer had. I think this is miles better than the one that Frank de Boer had. So for me, I think Vieira will get it right eventually. But it's been a tough run for him so far.
So moving on to the beloved Liverpool Chelsea game at Anfield. I've got a 1 each for this game. I think it's a really, really evenly matched game all over the pitch. I think the very key is the fullbacks. The fullback battle is going to be very key, and the midfield battle. And Van Dijk on Lukaku. I think the atmosphere of Anfield, the intensity of Liverpool at Anfield is just going to be a bit too much for Chelsea to go out and get the 3 points. But I do think Chelsea defensively are strong enough to hold Liverpool to a draw, which I said I would take. Reece, so Doug can keep eating. Reece, what would your What would your prediction be?
My scoreline's actually going to shock you guys. I'm not actually joking. My prediction will shock you. I've actually gone for a 3-3 draw.
I literally just said you're going to go for a free each. I know you too well. It's for a free each.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't.
Mate, first of all, let me ask you. Right, this is two very, very good defensive teams. Like, Chelsea really. So why? Where's the free each coming from?
I think it's the fact that I think both teams are going to open each other up. And you know, it is like I believe out of all the games he's going to get this season, I think this is Thomas Tuchel's major test, because this is compatriot versus compatriot. This is German versus German, totally different styles going up against each other. You've got a more defensive German manager and a more attack-minded German manager going at each other. I think they will open each other up. So yeah, I think honestly, you're going to see something from that. And I just thought, like, I was actually just thinking myself, is 3-3 a bit extreme? But I went, no, it's not really for me. So I was like, if this happened, I would be happy, because I think it would be the fact is both teams drop points and it would be entertaining, even though it's Liverpool. I would be all right with that. So yeah, 3-3 draw will do me nicely.
I've got some breaking news here.
Arsenal conceded.
No. I've got some breaking news. Pep Guardiola has confirmed in his press conference today that he will likely be leaving Manchester City at the end of the season, as he has said that after 7 years at Manchester City, he would like to take a break from club international, and he is potentially looking at an international job opening after the World Cup.
Yeah, I've got it here. ESPN Brazil. I'd like to coach a national team, South America, European, play a Copa America. I want this experience. Of all fairness, though, with all due respect, if you look at international football, I honestly think he would hate it.
Yeah, me too.
Because the gaps. He likes that situation where he gets to work these teams all the time. All he's going to do here is he's going to sit and watch football because he loves football, but he's not going to be as involved as what he would to be. He'll be bored if he goes into international management. It'd be like Klopp, it'd be like Tuchel, it'd be like Mourinho. They would hate it. They would want out fast. That's why I would never see them in international. If he goes and does it, the guy's going to be in for a shock, rude awakening.
Yeah, I'll see Pep Guardiola leaving. It'll be very interesting to see where City go from there.
I will say this though, if it's in fact his final season, then you'll see the man that's going to get bullied by Neymar and Messi this season become the manager of Man City next year. Pochettino will replace Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. I honestly believe that.
Doug, I don't know if you were able to keep your foot in your mouth when we said that this game is going to end 3 each between Liverpool and Chelsea, which is an extraordinarily massive prediction. But listen, that's your choice, Reece. Doug, I already know what yours is, but would you explain to my fears what your prediction is?
I've gone 2-0 Liverpool. I just think home crowd advantage will be so key. You beat us in front of no fans last time around. And I just feel that we can get at your back line and we can get at your whoever's going to be, Alonso, Chilwell. I feel that they're not the best defensively anyway. I think we won the midfield battle. I think there's no keeping out Mo Salah. There's no keeping out Jota at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0. But funnily enough, when Reece said 3-3, I was like, what? It's an ambitious. It's a very, very ambitious prediction, but I do like it.
There would be no chaos without me, though. Think about it. There is nothing without a chaos moment.
I do also have some breaking news: is that Fiorentina have signed Lucas Torreira on loan until the end of the season from Arsenal,
with an option to buy for 15 million, I believe, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Can I just say very quickly, like see Arsenal, and Aubameyang's career is ruined. Lacazette's career is ruined. That young centre back William Sarabia ruined. Lucas Torreira ruined. Odegaard's going to be ruined. Like, they've literally ruined careers, man.
I don't think it's Arsenal ruined careers. I just think, when a club's in a situation, like in a bad situation, and there's some players that can go in and they can stabilise the ship and they can actually make the club better. I look at the signings they've made and they don't actually fix Arsenal's problems, regardless of who the manager is. Like you look at Liverpool before Klopp. You look at Roy Hodgson he went completely downhill, was absolutely bonkers. They brought in Kenny Dalglish to stabilise the ship. He brought in Suarez and Andy Carroll. He was trying to stabilise things. It didn't go well there, but he won a trophy. Fast forward to Brendan Rodgers. The guy gets Liverpool second, but he's having to chop and change his style because he doesn't have the players he wants. They give him a big war chest, then they sack him. They didn't back Klopp with signings. Through when he joined, he didn't go even get a sign in January. He just had to work with what he had to do, and he finished 7th that year, and he lost the Europa League final. So you could see where Klopp was going with Liverpool, despite the signings. He didn't make any. He then got his first major signings, and you can see the vision that's starting to build. And I think with Arsenal, they need somebody that can come in with a clear vision that can take their club forward. And it's not just at management level either, in terms of like the main man. They need upper management, because they don't have it. I look at United right now with Myrtle. He's doing better than what Woodward was doing. I look at Man City. They've got Cheeky Begiristan and 2 others. They've got 3 director of footballs. Chelsea, is that Maria?
Martina Grasva. Yeah, I can't say her second name, but you got the gist.
Yeah, she's absolutely fantastic with what she does, like both selling players and signing. Like she seems to know the right people to get the job done. And but Arsenal, they don't have that, and it just says it all. Really, it's just so much. It's such bad management that they're doomed. They are doomed. They're as bad as Norwich.
Right, moving on to the next game between Salford City and Newport County.
What?
So yeah, Salford City started off the league very, very.
We're not talking League Two yet.
So Doug, Salford and Newport City. What are you thinking?
What?
Just to give you context, right on the Blue podcast, when me and George recording the Golden Show, we got a question, a Salford City fan asking us to talk about their game, talk about their league game, and me and George are like, I just wanted to see your reaction, because that's literally a reaction me and George had. We literally didn't have a single clue where to start.
I don't even have a clue about both teams. The only thing I do know is that Newport have got Kevin Ellison.
And Salford City have like a few Man United players, because that's literally what they are. They're Man United side bitch.
George is doing a ton of research for the next show. It all started on Sunday between Burnley and Leeds. Burnley have started off the league with 0 points. Though they had a decent performance against Liverpool, but their performance against Brighton, for the first half they were so really good. Second half completely faded. Doug's in a really confused face. Yes, Doug, what's wrong with you?
A good performance
against Liverpool. They were a decent. They put a decent.
They were to an extent, but
they weren't amazing, but.
They weren't amazing, but they were amazing at WWE and rugby tackles.
I completely agree.
But Leeds on the other hand, Leeds got a point against Everton, which is an extremely exciting game defensively. Looking very suspect, but I do not see them struggling against Burnley. I do have Leeds winning this game 2-0. Burnley it's a typical slow start from Burnley. They always start off really slowly, but then they kind of find their form and get a really good bit of form during the season. I think Leeds will win 2-0. I feel like they'll attack hard, and obviously if Burnley just play a long ball, they're not going to really get counter-attack that much. So I think it's a really straightforward win for Leeds. And I think I'll be interested to see what Dan from Turf Moor TV will think about this. Bad start to the season if it happens. But Doug, have you got Burnley getting their first point of the season?
No, I do not. 2-0 Leeds. I think the one thing you can say about Leeds is that you just never know what team is going to happen. Is it the one that gets really, really well and truly opened by Manchester United? Is it the one that actually has a bit of fight and grit against Everton? Or is it the one that will probably they battered Burnley 4-0 last season, so I can only see a 2-0 win for Leeds in this one, in all honesty. And I think Rafinha and Bamford will get the goals.
Reece, I know you despise Burnley with an upset passion, so you surely. But do you hate Leeds more that you don't have them winning this game?
I hate both teams, but I've actually gone 0-0 draw. I don't know. I just think it'll get stifled, and I think I think it has draw scream over it.
That's fair enough. Moving on to the second to last game between Watford and Watford. Between Watford and Watford, Spurs and Watford at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Straightforward. Harry Kane's going to start this game. They're going to win. I think they're going to get a 2-0 win. I don't think you're going to see many high-scoring games under Nuno, even with Spurs. It's just not the way Nuno is. He likes to score. They kind of just make sure that they don't get done at the back, especially when you've got Eric Dyer as your centre-back. So I've got as a very simple win, 2-0. Watford, okay, but they're not going to. I don't think they're going to cause too many upsets especially on the road this season. So I think Spurs will win this game fairly easily. And if they don't, then we can just keep on bantering them. Doug, any different result for yourself?
I've gone 2-0 to Tottenham. I think with that news about Harry Kane staying, I think he'll probably start. But the thing is, he doesn't really score in August, so this is the kind of a last chance saloon for him to try and score in August. I know he scored in August before, but he does take a bit of time to get going. Watford were way too open against Brighton, and I think they might get picked off here as well. I'm going to go Son. I'm going to go Son and Bergwijn to score for Spurs. I don't see Harry Kane scoring in this game, so 2-0 Spurs.
Okay, and over to you, Reece.
This one's actually an interesting game. I've been thinking about what do I want scoreline prediction wise, and what do I think would be good enough. And I actually went completely outside the box.
You have Watford winning, don't you?
I have Watford to win 1-0.
Okay.
I don't see Watford picking up many points of the season at all. But I still expect them to get relegated. But I think they will beat one of the so-called Big Six. I just happen to think it might be Tottenham. They will need to stifle the opposition as well, at the top level opposition. If they want to even get a foot in staying in this league, they will have to try and take points off at least one of the Big Six, because they won't do it off both, all six of them. Which is not really a bad thing either. But they have a tough task on their hand. But to be fair, they beat Liverpool before. The last time they were in the league, they beat Liverpool with ease. So why couldn't they beat another team in the top, from the so-called Big Six? So I'm going to go 1-0, and I think it's going to be quite a late winner as well. I think they'll catch them right at the end.
That's fair enough. And the final game of this round of Premier League fixtures is Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Manchester United at Molineux, which is a bit of a dodgy ground for Manchester United in recent time. But I don't see it being this time. I do think United are going to get the win. I do see Sancho starting this game. I don't think Varane's going to start. I still think it's going to be the Chuckle Brothers, as they're commonly known by. I don't think Varane's ready to play fitness-wise, but I do think Sancho will play. I do see this game being straightforward for Man United. I think Wolves are just trying to get used to a completely new system that they're playing. Obviously, Nuno, this is a very different system that they're playing compared to Nuno. I think they'll be quite open. I think it'll be very similar to Leeds, where they'll try and attack, they'll get exploited. Obviously, Rashford's back in training now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's not going to play. He's not going to play though. It's just light training. It's just light training, just to feed him back in. Yeah, that's all it is.
I don't see Malik and Marshall starting this game. I think we'll see Greenwood and Cavani on the bench. I think this United attack will start to click. We'll probably see McFredlow, which is a bit of a downside, but I don't think that'll impact the result too much. I have got Manchester United winning this game 3-0 at Molineux. Reece, go ahead, so Doug can continue the munch.
I've also gone for a Man United win. I've also gone 3-1. I think we'll bounce back from that disappointing performance against Southampton. We didn't lose, but we didn't deserve to win either. We didn't deserve to win the game. We just got to take it from there. To be honest, I'm not particularly too. I'm not as annoyed with the result as many people are, though. There are some people that were quite rightfully so angry. I can see why, but I wasn't. I think we can just take it on the chin. We dropped 2 points. We didn't lose the game, so we just move on from there. So yeah, I think we'll get a bounce back in the right manner, and we just take it from there. So yeah, I'm gonna go straightforward 3-1 win, and I'm thinking Varane might. I think Varane might start this game, to be honest.
And Doug?
I think he's away. Oh wait, there
Sorry.
he is.
I've got 2-1 Manchester United. I think they will bounce back, but the one thing now I will say, Fred was the worst player on the pitch last week. I thought he was absolutely dreadful.
Can I just to the point, and Reece will probably agree with me. I thought McTominay and Fred were bad, but my God, Matic and Fred took it to a whole new level.
It's not a good combination. Respectfully, it's not a good combo. I didn't particularly like it. I wanted it to be Donny and Matic. I think that pairing worked really well during pre-season. It made more sense to go with that, but we didn't. So we just have to take it on the chin. But it was not great. I agree. It was not great at all. I thought, to be fair, I like Fred. Everybody knows that, but it wasn't great. I thought, to be fair, I'll be honest. I thought Maguire and Lindelof were worse than Fred.
Yeah, they were terrible.
I don't think the centre back partnership were better than Fred, and I know Fred misplaced an absolute howler of a pass, but the one thing you can say, one thing about Fred though, the difference in that game is Fred didn't look shaky for anything. He just made one mistake, which is now going to haunt him for quite a while. But the defence just looks so shaky, and I like Lindelof as well. I like him, but he's a squad option at best. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not he's not the right man to be in there full time. I would rather he be a squad option.
I'm going to be honest as well. I think Anthony Martial's finished as a Manchester United player. I really do. I think this is a make or break season for him as well. And I do think that he's kind of came to the end of his United career. You look, he's had 1 or 2 good seasons, but
it's not enough.
Not consistent. Not consistent enough. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1. I do think you'll bounce back. I think I didn't think you were that great against Southampton, but then again, I didn't think Southampton were that great anyway. You know, it was one of those games where you could have won it, and then Southampton could have won it. So I think a draw was probably a fair result. But yeah, I've gone 2-1. I mean, Wolves won 4-0 against Nottingham Forest last night. I think it was as well. So that's a good result.
I wonder go to the Carabao Cup. To be fair, North scored 6 against Bournemouth.
Brandon Williams had a good game as well. He had a very good performance.
So I think I think Wolves will score. I think they'll score their first Premier League goal under Bruno Lage. I'm going to say they take the lead, and then Man United will come back into it with. I'm going to go Greenwood double. Actually, I put Greenwood in my fantasy football team this week, so hoping he does me the favours, as you say.
He probably will. To be honest, he's quality.
So that does bring the end to the week 3 prediction video with me and Reece and Doug join us. I'm sure Doug will try and join us as the season goes on if he's not working, because he will literally. I tell you this right now, this man will never turn down a chance to talk about predictions. He generally loves predictions. It's what it is.
He just won't turn a chance to talk about football. You need to remember, it's about football.
No,
football,
heritage, SPFL, English Premier League, Bundesliga. I'm there as well, and I'm actually liking the actual Bundesliga series that I'm doing as well. What I am going to do as well is that, because obviously I'm doing a live stream tomorrow over the Champions League draw. Obviously Reece will be there.
Can't wait.
I'm going to do a wee segment on the German clubs and see where their chances are, who's going to go through, and who see how far they could actually go. So stay tuned for that.
We should hit the Italian clubs as well. Obviously, I've got invested interest in 2 teams. I've got invested interest, but I'm actually looking forward to the stream. I think it's going to be a very good one, and it's the Champions League as well. What can go wrong?
So, in terms of, so Doug's pretty much already answered the question I was going to get him to answer anyway. So, thank you, Doug. That's me doing it. If you're interested in checking out Reece, make sure to check out his Twitter below, and then basically he'll let you know where you can find him pretty much because he's on so many different channels and so many different things. And I'm not going to sit here and try to explain it all because I'll be here all night. In terms of my channel, as I kind of said on Doug's channel earlier, I've got some big announcements. So first of all, Glenavon kick off their league campaign this Friday night. Matchday vlogs coming to the channel every single week. I'll actually be vlogging from the very start of the day in terms of when I'm going to work, kind of towards the end. So it's going to be like a day vlog, but mainly based on the football game. So hopefully, Reece, you'll check that out when it comes out. In terms of, I'll be doing match previews every single week from next week. That's determined. Sometimes I'll have people on. Sometimes I will. Sometimes it'll just be me, depends on who I can get on. Obviously, Reece will come on for Manchester United. I have Doug and Owen from the Cop on coming on for Liverpool on Thursday night. So we really are back. We're going to start really pushing stuff out on this channel. NFL content coming too, if anyone is interested. I've got nothing else to add other than please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, put your comments in the comments below, please. For people who have already took part in previous videos or live streams, make sure to put your comments in the prediction below. I will try and send these links to you on DM so people do not miss out on the table. So if you've got nothing else to add, please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe to the channel and please do share it. I would be greatly appreciated. And from me, for me and the panel, that is it from us tonight. And we will see you again very, very shortly. And also, please, Manchester United, Blues, and Doug, Liverpool are going down.
No, we're going to win.
Why do you let us hurt one another just for the dollar? Did you lose your heart in the darkness deep in your pocket? No, I don't care of the price I pay. I don't want to spend my life that way. Tell me, is the pain that you're causing worth what you profit?
Yeah, I know that money don't buy happiness, but buys you more material shit. And reworking how I think and what it means to be rich. I used to think it meant to flex, so Rolex on my wrist. Feels bad to take more than you give. Lately, hate how we live. I never want to become the things that I hate. With a man in the mirror with laugh and spit in my face. And tell me that the money is maybe another fake. I've been drowning in my mind and my money's been adding weight. Oh Lord, please save me. I should've known that something man-made couldn't make me. I say I'm making music, or is music what creates me? I never have an answer, same question every day. See, when we pass on, all our things are passed on to the next. Everything we didn't do is everything we regret. Every day we fucking work for this worthless check. If you're not happy, you're forever in debt. You're forever in debt.